always thought I had a face for radio. I don't know why you want to scream.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
You got a face for radio.
Right.
Boy, I had a caller text me, and he said, ask Bruce about his guitar collection. And I'm sure it's numerous.
Well, it is. I got over 100 guitars. At some point in my life, I decided that the only thing I regret was selling some of the guitars I had as a kid, and I could never afford to keep more than one at a time. And so once I could afford to, I opted for buying guitars rather than investing in other things.
Well, aren't guitars a pretty good investment anyway?
They are. In fact, I just sold off a slew of guitars last year and made like a year's income on the profit. So
That's awesome.
yeah, if you hold something for long enough, 15 years is about the point where you can really make some money on something that's in demand. Some things never go up. Some things go up a lot more. So average about. Last year, the guitar market averaged 15%. All guitars across the board. So guitars are a great investment. They're not. It's harder and harder to get the materials to make a good guitar, and
Supply chain.
supply chain stuff is making everything go up. Of course, I think everything's up 8% anyway, but guitars are doubling that.
People during the pandemic discovered new ways to entertain themselves, I guess, and picking up music and.
Yeah, and part of the problem for me, I mean, if I go into a shop somewhere and play a guitar, I'll be like, okay. But if I'm looking at pictures online late at night, you know, trying to be quiet, and it's like, boy, I'd really like to hold that and see what it's like and what it does, and I'm stuck. I have to buy it, so I'll try to get a good price on something that looks interesting and try it out, and then usually it goes into the closet.
Pass it on to
Some
someone
of them get played. I'm holding one right now that is the exception to the rule. This guitar, I've played the same Martin since 1990 live, and just recently I've got a guitar that actually supplants that guitar, and I've been playing this one more. And I'll tell you a little bit about this guitar. This is a 1946 Gibson J45. And I got it from that dealer in Maryland who came out and took about 2 dozen of my pieces back with him. He flew out and rented a car and built it up. And so I said, well, okay, but you got to sell me that guitar. So he gave me a deal on this one. It's a beat-up guitar. But yeah, I'm going to put it up to the mic so you guys can hear it.
It's sort of like a trigger. It's got some scarring on it. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd bring back an old song from my childhood, one of the first songs I ever learned, for the Ukrainians, for this crazy war in Ukraine. And I decided, you know, that's really a good song, so I might do it. And I've got the Bob Dylan Memorial mouth harp implement here to wear while I do this thing. But I started relearning the song, and I realized from the old pictures that he's playing a J45. It looks like it's been stripped, it's natural finish. And then I found out it's the same year as this one. So Bob Dylan got his 1946 J45 in 1961 and played it on the first 2 albums. His Bob Dylan album, and then the one after that had Blowin' in the Wind on it.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna play Blowin' in. Can I play a song?
Yes.
I'm gonna play Blowin' in the Wind. You guys can all sing along, and realize that this is the sound of the guitar that Bob Dylan played.
Live stream.
Remember the first word? How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? I'm taking the meters, aren't I? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand. How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head, pretending he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times can a man look up before he can see the sky? How many years must one man have before he hears people cry? How many deaths will it take till they know too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Oh, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Oh yeah, nice.
True story.
True story. I haven't heard that song in so long.
I know, it's a good one too. In the day, it was Bob Dylan's most covered song. In fact, it might be the most covered song of all time. Right up there with Happy Birthday.
Did he write that?
No. Of course he wrote that. Yeah, that's what made him. That and a few others is what made him an icon in the folk movement and the protest song movement. And then a couple years later, he'd play at Newport and go rock and roll. And
Boy, he drew some outrage when he went electric.
yeah, and
Half of his fan base went against him.
kind of lost some of his message too. But yeah, that really made Pete Seeger mad.
Yeah, the folk snobs.
Yeah.
But then the rest is history. And then the
folk
band
police.
and everything else. And
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but he went back and forth. You know, he dabbled in that, and then a few years later, he did Blood on the Tracks.
right before you got here, I was getting ready. The next song up was Acoustic Junction, and the song was Look Before It's Gone. And that Acoustic Junction is a band you used to be in, even before String Cheese. Is that, am I getting that history correct?
Yeah, that's right. Well, both those bands, I kind of was the first guy to record. I had a bedroom studio in the '90s, in the late '80s, in the Berkshires, and that's where I first started recording Reed Fail, who was the leader of Acoustic Junction, and I just started. His older brother was married to the singer in my band, so that was the connection, and he would come and do demos in my studio, and then later on we did their first album in my studio, and I played mandolin on it, and then they went off and moved to Boulder and got a guy to play the mandolin parts for years, and then he left, and I stepped in for a while as their mandolin and lead guitar player, and we toured relentlessly. It It really turned me off on touring.
When did you make the big move from the Berkshires to Colorado?
Well, and that was because of those guys, because they were selling out the Boulder Theater at that time and doing really good. Back in the Berkshires, General Electric had laid off everybody, and everybody was leaving the area, and it was a recession, and the clubs were closing, and so there wasn't much going on there. So I came
mass
out.
exodus west. Huh?
Yeah, everybody moved west, and boy, Boulder was just happening at the time. This is mid to late '90s.
Boy, it's a magical time to come here too.
Yeah, and I had already been coming out almost annually for the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. I was already a big fan of that, so that was my introduction to the Rocky Mountains.
Man, it's been, boy, this 2009's the last time I've been there. It got too expensive, not the tickets, but the lodging. You know, so I can't afford to go there unless I camp somewhere.
Yeah, back in the day, we'd drive in Thursday morning, drive right up to practically to the stage and pitch a tent, and it was casual. And now you can't even drive into town.
Oh no! But it is a premier festival. They got it going on. They've got it all tweaked out. You know, it's a smooth running operation. That's for sure.
Yeah, I love that festival, especially because you see people sitting with each other that you don't get to see pretty much anywhere else. You know, it's got an energy and a vibe. Thanks to people like Sam Bush and Jerry Douglas and stuff.
Boy, they made it what it is.
Yeah.
Play something else, man. I love your music, and boy, I mean, you're so talented.
All right, so that was the 4645, and I'll put it away and grab a mandolin. This is my Nugget mandolin. This is number 117. Mike Kimnitzer builds mandolins. He started in Eldora, and now he's in Michigan. More than anything, here's so you can hear it. It's one of the best mandolins around. I haven't been writing too much, but I came up with this little ditty during the it takes place in the parking lot. I was envisioning the parking lot of a bar that I play at called the Thunderbird up in Florissant. And they have a big jukebox, big booming jukebox, so you can practically hear it from the parking lot. And that's, of course, where everybody is, because nobody can go into the bar. So this is called 6 Feet Away. I don't want to be alone by the TV with that Motorola speaker half shot. I'd rather be sliding down my 59 steel through a pair of power tubes running hot. So pour me another cup of thanks a lot. You can hear the jukebox from the parking lot. Get your kicks in the cab while I'm sitting on top. That's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. Well, she left me in the morning without warning. Said she had to see a man about a cat. Now the night is getting old and the chicken's getting cold, and I don't believe she's ever coming back. So pour me another cup of thanks a lot. You can hear the jukebox from the parking lot. Get your kicks in the cab while I'm sitting on top. That's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you. Yeah, that's all I'll ever get to do. I'm still 6 feet away from you.
What a great song. What a great pandemic song. I remember when you released, everything was shut down and you released that video, and I believe Alex and Bonnie were in it.
Yeah,
And all that.
actually
That's
Alicia.
one of those live streams and the pop-up concerts outside is the only thing that kept my sanity during that isolation period that lasted almost a year or whatever. So
Yeah, well, and then Jim Lofgren, I don't know if you folks realize he is music's greatest fan. He doesn't miss a show. He records almost, at least one song and everything and gets it online so people can see. And I'm looking at a poster here of an event that you sponsored right over there at Benson's when we were just getting back. You had the whole Grateful Dead band out to play.
I wanted to give back to the community with my stimulus money that I got from the government, so I gave
There
it
you
directly
go.
back. You know,
There you go.
it is one of the first concerts to open up after, you know, we started opening up after being shut down for a year. And it was really good. Thought about doing something this spring, but there's nothing. It's wide open, and you know, there's music everywhere. So I'd be happy to do it again. But
Yeah, but back then that was the first event, and we had to postpone it a month because it snowed on the day we originally planned
we
it.
got 8 inches of snow in the middle of April. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So it's amazing.
It worked out better, you know, having a month. The lesson learned: don't plan anything in April outside, because it had to be outside with the pandemic and stuff. So next time we'll go to a good listening room or something. So
Yeah. Well, we need one of those. Hopefully, they do something with the Vic or get some big room going here. I think the biggest room right now is probably Soulcraft or indoors.
and maybe a church, you know, depending
A
on
church is great for that kind of more of a listening
for listening
thing.
room.
I gotta get a show there.
Coaldale's are really nice. The schoolhouse there is a really nice listening room.
Yeah.
It's about 100 people or so, and it's
Yeah,
just great.
I kind of started that room. I did the first show there and booked a lot of the shows. Now Bruce Warren has taken it over. But I love that room. It's great. And it's a different audience. It's all these down valley people that you never see out. So it's kind of fun.
Bruce, are you listening? And Ragged Mountain would be a real good fit for that room.
Well, yeah. We have played there as a trio. It would be good to get the whole band in there sometime.
One place that I really enjoyed hearing you and your band play was the Rocky Top River Ranch over there in Howard.
Yeah, and that's happening. We will be there twice this summer.
That's awesome.
Last Saturday in June and the third Saturday in August the whole band will be there. And if you haven't been there, that's a great scene. It's Rit, who owns the place, does a free or donation only barbecue dinner that's just out of this world. They smoke the meat right there, and then the band plays, and kind of in the late afternoon.
His barbecue grill is something else. He made it out of a 64 Mercury hood.
Yeah,
The barbecue grill.
it's the front end of an old Mercury. Yeah.
Pretty classic and good barbecue donations. I can't wait. You know, I'll be there. So, man, what a great venue.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some better Wi-Fi so you can stream it. You were nice enough to stream it last time.
I think the Wi-Fi's better there than it is downtown Salida.
Yeah,
This is
is
we
like
got to work on our public Wi-Fi.
It's like a black
Get some
hole
funding.
here.
Yeah.
Even your phone is a little sketchy here, or mine is.
And just wait till the tourists come in and start overloading everything. So, but anyway,
That's
the
probably
pleasures of living in a small town. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, it is Earth Day, and I thought I'd do an environmentally oriented song. And speaking of Ragged Mountain, this is a song that we do. This is a song by Peter Rowan that I'm gonna kind of give it a little bit more tempo to, and this is one called "The Forest for the Trees." When first unto this land I came, she was a virgin might someday see the forest for the trees. I pray that we might someday see the forest for the trees.
Nice song.
Yeah, that's a goodie, huh?
Man, that was excellent. I'm fascinated on how fast your fingers move.
Yeah, I am too. They're not quite awake yet.
Oh my. When I retired in
They were trying to
09,
catch up with my brain there.
I bought a mandolin when I retired from the fire department and tried to teach myself. Long story short, I sold it to Chris Naska's Broken String Guitars because it wasn't getting any use. My arthritic fingers couldn't. Anyway, I admire people that can really play it. So I'm better listening to music and promoting it.
Yeah, the mandolin is kind of akin to a cheese grater for trying to play an instrument.
Got some calluses on your fingertips from?
Yeah, I do. And I would advise anyone else to play the ukulele instead. Boy, I can't think of any other songs. Maybe we could have a call-in request session.
Anybody have any requests, man? Play anything you like. I wish I would have taken notes when we were talking yesterday and stuff, but I shoot these interviews just from the hip, and I have no idea. Mark, you got a song request for Bruce?
Oh. I have seen him do some good ones, but I can't think of anything right off the...
I'm gonna get my guitar. We'll think of something. But yeah, psyched for Bluegrass on the River coming up Memorial Day weekend. It's Saturday night. They got a couple of bands. I know I'm sitting in with the first one. And I don't know who the headliner is Saturday night. And then it's all day Sunday. It's a free event, or they take donations. That's a real good thing to support and be a part of. And then I'm bringing my band, the Milo Hayes Meld, up from the Springs for several shows here. We'll be playing and backing up Bonnie Culpepper at Elevation's anniversary party, second Saturday in June.
In June, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and then we'll be back a couple times during FIBARC to play. We're
Excellent.
playing for Ride the Rockies that Tuesday, Benson's that Wednesday, and Highside that Friday of FIBARC.
Benson's,
you'll have to,
what a classic place. Their patio, beer garden, man, what a great place to play music. And Brett's really brought in in fact, the first time I saw you when I moved here was at Brett's. I guess it was probably October or something. I remember it was really cold out, and you were playing in the corner. And the first time I knew about you, but it was the first time I was blown away. I was like, this guy's the real deal. It's like, oh crap! Can I say that? I guess I said it on the radio. I guess that's permissible, but
yeah.
start rambling. So.
Yeah, well, thanks. Well, actually, I'm just over here trying to think of a good Earth Day song. I can't think of one. I don't know if I remember any of this one. If you go down to the Bandit River, back far enough so you can feel the pain. Remember the boy that you left behind, sitting alone with the stars in his tears, and take a last flying look at the last lonely eagle. He's soaring the length of the land, shed a tear for the fate of the last lonely eagle, for you know that he never will land. Yeah, well, that's about it for that one. That was New Riders of the Purple Sage.
Boy, when a lot of times I play stuff off your lunch album, anything like that, or Live in Salida, boy, all of those two albums are excellent. Anyway, my playlist is created off of Spotify, so it makes it easy for me that both those Tattooed Tear, Waiting for June, they're all
Well,
just
you know,
really good music.
I don't know if I could play Waiting for June sitting down, but that is an apt tune for this time of year. Mud season, it's kind of a mud season shanty.
Oh, I got a request here. Play Paradise.
Oh, yeah, that's a good Earth Day song. Okay. It's John Pryan's song,
I guess so.
and John Pryan's label is Old Boy Records. And Mark was
Cold
just telling.
Train's hauling it away.
Oh, you got the words there. You can sing along. Everybody,
Part of them, anyway.
call up the words to Paradise. Help me out with this one.
Lisa will be singing with us.
All right. I think I have it. What's the first line there? You got the words there.
Oh, she didn't send me the lyrics. She just sent me a text with something. Let's see. Coltrane's hauling it away. Work gets in the way.
Yeah, this is not coming to me. Have a drink of water and see. I think it's a waltz. What's it say? What you
Small. Got the lyrics pulled up. It's small.
got? Okay, that's all I needed. When I was a child, how about in C? When I was a child, my family would ramble down to western Kentucky, where my memories were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered. So many times there that my memories were stored. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise waits? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. This Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. Sometimes we travel on down the Green River to an abandoned old prison down by Avery Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we shoot with our pistols. Empty pop bottles was all we could kill. Hey, how you doing? Good. I think I got it now. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber, they stripped all the land. They dug for that coal till the land was forsaken, and wrote it all down as the progress of man. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. die, let my body flow down the green river. Let my soul float on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away.
And a great song, of course, John Prine.
Yeah, thanks for that request. Who did that? Somebody called that?
Elisa called that in, and she dropped off the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
She works next door. She must be listening.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Elisa.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry it took us a second to pull that one together. Just
I couldn't think of it, so I knew
Mor-
the song.
Morning fog closing in.
Got the fog lifter coffee going.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jim, thanks for letting me take up your show. What do we got till the top of the hour here?
Top of the hour, we got,
Yeah.
8-10 minutes or something if you fill that up.
Sure. Well, you mentioned the Lunch album, and that's one I recorded at this bedroom studio we were talking about. That well, we were talking about how the first Acoustic Junction album was recorded in the Berkshires in my bedroom, and then the first String Cheese album was recorded in my bedroom in Crested Butte. I had a little studio in CB South through the 90s. And Mike Kang was my housemate for a while there, and Michael Travis was the drummer in my band, and things all kind of came together, and String Cheese Incident came out of that mess, and we made their first album there. It was never a CD; it was a cassette. Both of these albums were cassettes because that was the medium of the day. CDs were just kind of coming along, and it's available to stream now. It's called Aged Cheese. It's on online somewhere. You can listen to that.
I have found it on YouTube or on Spotify or
Yeah,
something.
it's
I've
on
played
it.
some of that
It's
stuff.
on everything. There's no physical.
That was the late 80s,
There's no
early
physical
90s,
evidence.
wasn't it?
It was 95. They did their first album. But at the same time, I did this album Lunch, and some of the String Cheesers, especially Travis, played on it. And here's a song off of that album. This is reflecting back on that whole cassette era. You used to be able to buy these motivational cassette series, and they'd come in a big box with 5 cassettes on each side, 5 or 6 cassettes. And you'd listen to these cassettes to learn how to get rich in real estate, or be a better person, something like that. So I had one of those, and then I wrote this as the theme song for my cassette series, my motivational cassette series. And this is called Walking on Water. Christ played an old guitar his dad made him when he was 4, when he was just learning how, never wondering why. One day got to die. John had a love for a peace band with Mary, had the best voice in the land. Even the Son of God gets an arrow in the heart. When they gotta play their part, move on, rise up after you chose. Your song plays on the radio. Of course, will you bear without breaking a walking on water, you gotta get your feet wet. Get your feet wet. Just never held a job in Buddha, never ate corn on the cob. People would never miss what they never had. If it wasn't for all those ads, and Christ should have played the banjo, you know. Harry probably would have let him go. 'Cause with a smile on your face, you can say anything. You can even call yourself a king. Move on, raise a path of choice. Your song plays on the radio. No cross will you bear without breaking a sweat. And when walking on water, you gotta get your feet wet. Don't be talking about you could or would or should. You could be working on your can and your will and you want you. Lives have been altered. Time has been lost. All paths in the balance, suspended on a cross. Out there, blowing in the breeze, and there's a lot of it today. It's just hanging around. Christ played an old guitar his dad, maybe when he was 4. A little off key, a little out of tune, just a little like rockin' at the moon, yeah. Irvine plays a path of choice. Your song plays on the radio. No cost will you bear without breaking a sweat. And when walking on water, you gotta get your feet wet. Yeah, we're walking on water. Get your feet wet.
Thank you,
All right.
Bruce. Man,
You're welcome.
I am
Jim.
so glad to get you in the studio. Guys, get out to the high side tonight, 7:30, Chief and Angela's place. You will not disappoint. Man, what a consummate musician. And
All right.
I was thinking about in history, the bass player for String Cheese Incident with Keith Mosley.
That's
And,
right.
He's from my hometown of Edmond, Oklahoma. And his parents were real good parents with the in-laws back then. And he's about 10 years younger than I am. And I remember I guess I was in my 20s or up there somewhere. And he was in high school garage bands and going over, for dinners and stuff and playing. It's like, he's good, but will he really amount to anything and everything? And now he's in String Cheese Incident.
We were, for years in the 90s, we were always having jams, and Keith was a regular part, and a few other locals. But Keith was a guitar player, and a very good flat picker, bluegrass singer. And one day he came over. He'd been hanging out with what would be String Cheese, those guys, and he came over and said, I want to play bass. What do you do? And so I put a bass in his hands and showed him a couple of things.
He was a natural?
Yeah, he's a real natural musician. Yeah, before you knew it, he was just doing great things with the bass.
And if, my memory's failing me, but either he came back for a visit after he moved to Crested Butte to his parents, and he brought me back a CD, or his parents brought me a CD, and it was one of the first ones, and maybe what you're talking about, I have no idea where this recorded copy is or anything over the years, but I remember that was one of my String Cheese instruments, and they started getting real big back then. So I got one of their first cassettes somewhere. It's probably, who knows where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
In an attic somewhere.
Well, it's all online. That's the funny thing about Medium. In fact, I'm going through all my old stereo equipment and records and trying to give them away. Looks like we've got 30 seconds. Yeah. And so I'm selling some phonographs. I just let one go on Facebook yesterday. Some old vintage turntables. I got another one I'm fixing up to sell, and some other things, and some vinyl. I got a bunch of vinyl. So let me know, you vinyl heads out there. And then now I guess we're off to the parade, huh? What's happening
birthday
now?
parade and the party down at the park. But man, we got 10 seconds left, and I'm going to turn it over to Big Bird and whatever Big Bird wants to play. So thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Get out to the high side tonight. You will not be disappointed.
Right. Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Happy Earth Day.
Nice show, dude.
Thanks. We kind of had a lull in the middle.
I never have a set questions. I shoot from the hip.
Are we muted? Because
We are all muted. I'm going to turn off all those dials. Mark, turn all those off.
I was flooring those things. I guess you guys got a good compressor because the meters were tagged